1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, good. 1, 2, 3, Hadouken! 1, 2, 3, Sonic Boom! 1, 2, 3. Alright.
I give up! I give up! I'm Joshua.
I'm Travis.
I'm Phillip. We're back with another DNS vidcast.
How's it going? Are you
That's
doing
what
well?
the show's called. Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah. I named it.
No, you didn't.
You don't know that?
I do know that.
Oh, I guess I was wrong then.
All right, so we've got 2 new topics.
We do. We have
Picked
2 new
at random.
topics.
Picked at random by our random number generator.
Now, I want to tell y'all something. There's an opportunity for you to tell us what to talk about that you might not know about. Go to patreon.com/dudesinspace and you can figure out what the secret is.
There's going to be a link in the middle of the page right now.
If you don't know, now you know.
Hey, you know what? Why don't we get our 2 new topics?
We already did that. I said there's going to be a link in the middle of the page, and that's when it comes up. Oh, you're just trying to do Phil? Man, you don't have very much stamina there, buddy. The first topic is scariest moments.
Why did Phil make that sound, though?
That one?
The scariest moments that we've experienced?
The scariest moments you've experienced. Your scariest moments.
Ooh, I got a good one.
I got
Do you
one.
have a good one?
I got one.
Yep.
We'll roll with it, guys.
Well, who's going first? Let's do it, Phil. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, good. 1, 2, 3, Hadouken! 1, 2, 3, Sonic Boom! 1, 2, 3. Alright.
I give up! I give up!
Oh my god.
Alright, well,
You go first.
Let me tell you my story. It's about that time I learned how to be a mind reader.
Okay.
No, seriously, that was fun.
There's the opening for the video.
The scariest moment that I've ever experienced in my life, I was driving my vehicular. Mm-hmm. I was on the top part of the 240 loop, if y'all are familiar with Memphis interstates.
Memphis.
But yeah, so I was going and I was not texting and driving. I was not distracted driving. It was trafficky. However, I did not realize that traffic was backed up quite as far as I thought it was going on to that overpass. I just remember knowing that I didn't have time to brake. I was just going to hit the car in front of me and hopefully everyone would survive.
Okay.
I think I got down to like 60 miles an hour, probably going like 70 or 80. Mm-hmm. And I plowed into the back of the stopped car in front of me. And airbag deployed. I was all freaked out and discombobulated and like worried and like, confused and whatnot. But I was alive and I was okay. I didn't like go off the road or anything. But then I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm okay. And, my door still works. My car is dead now. So let me check on the person in front of me. So I get
Kenneth
up.
was in the seat beside him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was a bloodbath in there, man. I get out of my car and I'm like stumbling around. And by this time, it was a lady who was in front of me. And she has gotten out of the car and she's freaking out and hysterical. And I understand why. I'm freaking out. I'm hysterical. And then she's like, my baby's in the back seat.
Well, now in the front seat.
So it was at that moment where she said, my baby's in the back seat, that I was more scared and filled with fear and just worry and dread. But no,
You ripped the door
off. And
you jaws of life it.
The car was pretty smashed up from the back end, but it had kind of a long trunk, so it took in the impact really well.
Surprisingly, cars are designed to take impact.
Yeah, everything worked wonderfully.
Funny enough, so are babies.
I know you were dropped on your head at least 3
and
times.
the baby was just like chilling. The baby was just like, "What's up, dog?"
Not even crying.
No.
It was just
That's-
in shock.
Was it a deaf baby?
But the problem was, it was really trafficy. It was like twilight, which is the hardest time to see, and then like we were in the middle of the.
Excuses.
No. I'm saying once the deed was done.
And then it was more dangerous.
I'm sitting there worried, like, what do? I sit in my car and wait? But no, you know. So yeah, we kind of called the police and headed off to the
They
side
showed
of the
off
road.
like 30 minutes later.
The issue was like there was a turn, you couldn't get through in the middle of the road. It was there's 2 different lanes,
Right.
with a barrier in between them, and then like the one overpass that only went one way was right in front of us, and like the next overpass where you had to get on to come and find us was way back there, but there was also traffic backed up, so like no one could get through for a long time, any like emergency vehicles or anything like that.
Good thing you weren't bleeding out.
Yeah, so we were probably on the side of the road for about an hour.
Wow.
Before anybody made it there.
That is crazy.
Which, oddly enough, my other wreck story, which wasn't nearly as serious, but it did involve, having my car towed. The police took 2.5 hours to get there.
No
But
way.
the issue was that there was a big accident on the interstate that was demanding a lot of attention. So everyone was going off the interstate and going down Highway 51. Mm-hmm. I did that, came over a hill, and there was a wreck waiting for me to have there. But all the cops were like, all the traffic was back up.
He isn't taking blame for one of these.
Not even one.
No, I'm not taking blame.
I can't legally take blame.
I will say that I was in the rear of all of them. But,
What do you got?
Let's see. I could tell you the time that I broke my wrist in half, but everybody's heard
Is that
story.
scary, though?
It was pretty scary to see it.
I don't believe it happened.
What's the other one?
The other one is this one time I was on my way to school.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on right there. Folks, vote in the comments below to tell which story Phil should tell. We'll wait a few seconds.
All right, 2
All
it
right.
is.
Yeah,
they
looks
wanna
like it's
hear that,
number
okay.
2. Yeah.
So I'm on my way to school, and it's early in the morning.
Someone has to keep time on this thing.
It just
Go
got done
forever.
raining, and
From
I
the
was-
sky?
From the sky.
Okay.
And I was getting on the interstate.
Uh-huh.
Funny enough. And
That is funny.
It's hilarious.
You just I had the car accident.
Well, this isn't a car accident.
Oh, okay.
It's just scary. So I get up to the
And there was a ghost in the back seat.
into the turn lane,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden my truck hydroplaned. A full 360 into the ditch, and the whole time I'm going
That's a car accident.
like as it's happening, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna flip. So how do I need to just like not die?
Should I put my seatbelt on?
Should I be wearing my seatbelt?
Nah.
I'm going to try to go into the ditch rather than this 18
Well, yeah, that too. But car didn't flip. Nothing bad happened.
I could just imagine Phil sitting in the pilot's chair of his truck, just like spinning, slow mo. He's just like willing himself.
To not have an accident.
That sounds pretty terrifying. I guess I have a few car accidents that just quick. My wife was driving, and an
Is that how they
18-wheeler
all start?
came
My
up.
wife
Not
was driving?
usually. Although it is more terrifying if you're not in control.
That's true. Yeah.
An 18-wheeler came over on top of us, and then he just kept going like he never saw us. He probably did never see us, but we had to take it into the ditch.
Oh wow!
It was crazy. We were full speed down the interstate.
Jeez.
The straight stretch
What
of
were you
highway.
driving?
We were in her car. Her,
Volvo.
yeah,
Valvo.
yeah,
Valvoline.
uh-huh.
Number 18.
But I would say
That's when Josh died.
just another quick one. Another scary moment.
You hit it real fast.
I was on a ladder. I don't know, maybe 20 feet in the air,
That's a
leaned up
ladder.
against something.
Mm-hmm.
It was fully extended. It was not like an yeah, it was an A-frame ladder,
Okay.
but I was using it incorrectly.
Oh, you were leaning it against
I was leaning
something?
it against something. So for some reason, I was reaching up, and I guess I put too much downward pressure on it, and it started scooting out from under me. So
Did you grab hold of them?
I just went. There was a bar in front of me, and I just bear hugged it. So I'm just hanging onto this bar. I'd got like these giant bruises across both of my arms. It was terrifying.
You should have just wrote it down, man.
I ended up having to like grab onto something and like swing
the ladder.
down.
Just just.
Yeah, that would have worked perfectly.
Land on
Just
your
stood
feet.
like this.
Or you just stay on it like prone position, knock out a couple push-ups real quick, and then you're good to go.
That doesn't work like that. That's not how physics work. All right, so probably the scariest moment. This is embarrassing.
All right.
I'm not a pet person,
Oh, jeez.
but I have a pet
Right.
that I've had for like 4 or 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cat.
Meow.
And
I know what story you're gonna tell.
I was at work, and my wife calls me and says, Rufio has blood coming out of his butt. I was like, I don't know what that means, but that sounds bad.
Sounds real
But
bad.
it was scary because my wife was terrified. That's always scary.
She's quite the pet.
Yeah, she loves
sympathizer.
animals quite a bit. I only like this one animal. All other animals I don't care about. But yeah, and apparently something was really wrong with him. Now, we took him to the vet. The first night was pretty scary because we didn't know. We knew that it was something urinary tract related. He had something lodged in there, the old kidney stones.
Yeah.
But they said they didn't know if he was going to make it through the night. And that was pretty scary. And I don't know why. I've never been this attached to any animal in my entire life.
That story right there is the only thing that's ever gotten Joshua to skip a Dudes in Space event.
That's true.
Yeah.
They went and did a live podcast thing, and
Yeah.
I didn't make it to that.
It was awesome.
Just think of how much better it would have been. But yeah, he turned out all right. He was fine. After a week, he was pretty much completely back to normal. But that was pretty terrifying. And I was trying to think if there's anything else. I feel like there's got to be another scary moment.
I have plenty of like being rushed to the hospital moments.
I've
Yeah?
got some. Sorry, Phil, I
I've
didn't
never
mean to
had a
step
near
on you.
no,
death
you're good.
thing.
I've
few of
had
those.
when I was a child. I had the old night terrors. I had the old sleep paralysis.
Oh yeah, I'd still do that.
Every once in a while, it really gets me if I take a nap on the couch. It always gets me because I'll be in that half asleep state, and then I'll always just my brain immediately goes to like, what was that shadowy figure? Which then my imagination's like, oh, it's definitely a ghost coming to talk to you right now and sitting at your feet and sucking your
He just
soul
wants
out.
to talk to you.
But and the whole time, like, I'm not in a lucid enough state to where I can, either wake all the way up, so I'm just like in that perpetual state of fear and confusion.
I don't know if I've ever
And
experienced
that always gets my heart
I hear it.
going.
I've heard stories about that, and it sounds terrifying.
I always push myself out of those dreams really fast. Like I guess it was a few weeks ago, I woke up, or I didn't wake up. My body forced itself awake, and I punched my nightstand because it was a monkey getting in my business.
What?
That's what I told my girlfriend
Monkey
when I woke
business,
up.
huh?
Yeah, she was like, "Oh God, is everything okay?" I was like, "It's okay. It was just a monkey getting in my business," and I went back to sleep.
Well, that turned from scariest to most hilarious moments.
But it's like it's frightening to think that that's my reaction to those kinds of dreams. It's like I wake up like, "Bruh!"
Lastly, I will say anything that's designed to scare me doesn't work.
No, because I like
Any
especially
manufactured
like
scares.
haunted
don't work.
houses,
Yeah.
Halloween, themed things.
I'm
like
a
scary
wuss,
movies.
So
I
that stuff gets me.
appreciate the production and the
Yeah,
theatrics
that's what
of
I
it
look
so
at.
much that I'm interested in it. I'm like, that's a great scare. That's
And I
going to scare
want
so
to be
many
scared.
people.
I really do.
You know what
I want to be
scares me?
scared of
You know what
this.
scares me most
What?
in the world is when somebody says, "Hey, Phillip."
Oh, no. Yeah, at work that happens
Especially
a
at work. Yeah.
lot. Phil!
See ya, fear.
All right, here goes
see
topic
you.
2 right now.
MacGyver.
MacGyver!
So this was our very first Patreon submitted topic from Mr.
The-
Paul Allen.
Yeah.
I am the Paul Allen.
Paul Allen.
So he wanted us to talk about MacGyver.
MacGyver, yeah, I'm kind of stoked about MacGyver. I wish I would have been better prepared for this topic.
I tell you what, MacGyver isn't a thing that has stuck around in pop culture.
No, not at all. It was so cheesy.
Not really.
It
I mean,
could
it's
never live today.
It's only there as an aside. Like,
It was
oh, you really MacGyvered that
Late
situation.
80s, is that MacGyver?
Yeah, early 90s, late 80s.
Okay, that's what it feels like. We did go back and we watched
for
some
you
best of
younger
clips.
ones, perhaps you're familiar with the Saturday Night Live sketch / movie
MacGruber,
MacGruber, which was
Maybe you're
which was a
That was also
throwback-
10 years ago, I think.
that was.
at this point.
Which was a throwback to a late 80s, early 90s TV show called MacGyver, which featured, what's his name, Phil?
Richard Dean Anderson.
As MacGyver, and he
Angus
was
MacGyver.
Angus McAngus.
he was like some ex-spec ops or something like that, and he would find himself in all these
Bizarre
tricky
situations.
All right, the first thing that
where he had
stands
to
out.
escape, and then he uses obscure things, never like weapons or anything, but obscure.
Like, I have a coat hanger, and there's a heater, and
I-
we're wearing
zip
zip ties,
ties.
so I'm gonna melt the zip ties with the heater. It's just
Yeah.
like,
So the first thing that stands out when you watch this show is his beautiful mullet /
Oh.
80s hair.
It's a straight blonde coiffed mullet.
And there were points where, like, it changed over the show,
yeah,
I guess,
yeah,
because some of the clips we watched, it would be kind of a,
Maybe a
bigger
little
on
permy.
top, but then sometimes he had the full-on mullet tail going on.
And that
It was
leather
beautiful.
jacket, he had a bomber jacket. For
Yeah.
a
yeah,
long
he always
time.
wears the bomber jacket.
Yeah.
That's his signature.
But beautiful hair. That's not his hair color, right? That's like bleach blonde.
I would
looked like
that's
it was
not
dyed.
natural. Yeah.
It was beautiful, though.
You know, I will say, he was kind of competing with Chuck Norris around that time.
Okay.
He was competing with...
Chuck Norris definitely made it out of that on top.
Wasn't Highlander the show
Yeah.
going on around that time, too?
okay.
So there were a lot of kind of one-man action shows going on.
Just an aside here. I bought my mom the first season of Walker, Texas Ranger on DVD. We watched the first episode, which is a two-parter.
Yeah?
It's like an hour and a half long
Oh, that
thing.
sounds great.
It's wonderful. Everyone should check it out, except for the camera angles. They do that stupid crooked camera angles on everything.
Oh, really?
I didn't remember that. It's infuriating.
That's the
It's
one
like
thing.
Thor. Like the first Thor movie.
Walker, Texas Ranger is one of the best pieces of television.
It's so good.
Ever.
That I waited.
It's up there with Xena Warrior Princess.
And the
It's up
Hercules.
there. Xena blew Hercules.
What?
Did she?
But I waited the entire hour and a half, and it was so satisfying when it happened.
How many roundhouses?
It was he waited till the very end of
One
it.
epic roundhouse?
Yes.
Did
he say
was it
roundhouse
the...
kick?
It wasn't even like a from the ground though. It was the first one. You could tell they're just trying it out. They're
Yeah.
just getting the feel for the roundhouse.
Was it like a multiple shot?
No, that wasn't till later. This is just a
That's a good
roundhouse.
delivery of that roundhouse.
Yeah.
Probably the director was like, "Wow, that was a great ad lib, Chuck. I didn't realize you could do one of those spinning
Now
heel
we
kicks.
need that to end every episode.
let's make that a thing."
Yeah. But anyways, back to
MacGyver.
Back to MacGyver.
Yeah, sorry.
I think what he had going for him more than anything else in the world
Epic
was,
theme song.
was luck.
Oh,
How often do you have a 3,000 pounds per square inch
Oh,
or
yeah,
whatever
so
water jet?
It always seems like he would be down in Mexico doing something, and the kingpin would throw him into his makeshift prison, which was just a hole in the ground.
Just
But
knickknacks everywhere.
What a coincidence that hole in the ground was where everyone kept their hairpins, their like fishing line.
By far the best thing we saw was he rigged up a pressure washer onto his and his son's back, apparently,
Yeah.
who he was just reunited with.
Yeah, he used a steering wheel that
Yeah.
they had found. Now,
As like
now
the part
get
back
you.
of the harness.
They fell into the shipping pit of like one of those large boats that carry nothing but shipping containers and crates and stuff. So
Yeah.
they were just looking around like, what's in this crate?
If only
What's in
we
this
had wings or something.
And-
he
yeah,
said.
He said, if
one
only
of
we
the
could fly
crates-
out of
Yeah,
here.
that's what it was.
In one of the crates there were
Seatbelts.
seat belts And then the kid's like, "Hey, I found these 2 steering wheels. We can use these as harnesses."
So yeah, they built a jetpack
Out of pressure washers.
and just shot directly out of the thing. And this is like 80 feet, right?
Yeah,
this is
something
not.
like that. Yeah, it's not
insane.
tiny.
So funny is, so he throws the tarp back, and there's this huge, pressure vessel, and he's looking at it. He's like, and the gauge, it starts to redline at 3,000 and 4,000, 5,000 it's in the red. He's like, if we can get that up to redline at 3,000, I bet we could shoot on out of here or something like that. And then it cuts immediately to like the cheapest looking corrugated plastic hose in the
A tube
world.
that would never hold more than 5 pounds of pressure.
And they plug those into some
Tape it all together.
some of those
Pressure
like
hoses.
car
it's like
pressure.
airline.
And then
things.
they strap that to their
Propellers.
back. No, which isn't to say 3,000 pound pressurized water shooting down your backside would totally skin your calf, but whatever.
Man, we all just died laughing whenever they left the ground. It was just like,
Rose up, yeah.
I think
so
I like
good.
the best one that we saw was they're in this bank vault or something, and they have a thermite bomb down there with them for
Heads
some
up,
reason.
it didn't look like a thermite bomb. It was liquid.
Yeah,
Thermite is a powder.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what they were doing exactly, but he rigs up a speaker system to hear the clicks in the.
No, yeah, he's in a bank vault, and
bank vault.
that makes sense. He used the receiver of a telephone, and then
Then they're like, "Oh,
yeah.
hand him the bomb. Here you go. Here's the bomb. Okay,
He did just chunk it in the vault like that. If you're being that careful, I don't think you're throwing a bomb.
I had looked away. I thought that like maybe he was trying to break them out of the safe, and they were in the safe.
No,
with
they
the bomb.
threw the bomb in the safe.
Yeah, I must
to
have like
explode
left
it.
or not paid attention because when I looked back, all I saw was the bomb blowing the hinges off the door. I thought all those people died.
That would have been a turn.
And in my head, I'm like, I don't remember it being that dark.
Well, he straight up like threw a bomb under somebody's car.
Yeah,
like,
that was pretty sweet.
that would have killed the man.
That was
Okay,
pretty
so we
awesome.
should talk not about MacGyver. What lasting impressions did it have? I think MacGyvering thing. That's a very fun thing.
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
if you
I'm
fix
always
something
excited.
with household things.
If you can't duck it, get something else.
Yeah, some zip ties. If you can't duck it, try zip ties. That's how that saying goes. Whenever you're using like duct tape, zip ties, aluminum foil,
Dudes
or
in space
bread ties.
are very
Weird.
good at MacGyvering things.
Yeah.
If you could only see this light right here, MacGyver Dell.
Yeah, it's a pro, man. It is pro. One day maybe we'll do a studio tour or something.
We
Yeah.
do them every once in a while on patreon.com/dudesinSpace.
And we're pushing it hard.
But I mean, like MacGyver is kind of, to me, it's like the ultimate engineering superhero.
Yeah, I don't know. It's engineering.
Well, I mean,
There's a
it's
lot
taking,
of faith you have to leave to the imagination in that one.
Yeah, but I mean, that's really
Once you remove physics, yeah, I guess.
yeah. Well,
That's
I mean,
true.
that's exactly
It's
how
television.
It's like how you
find
think things
innovation.
work. Whoever wrote that was like, how do you think these work?
Wouldn't
Yeah.
it be crazy if,
Yeah.
like, there's like a ceiling fan. I bet if we strap that to the back of a car, it could like become a submarine.
Yeah.
And they're like, why not? Yeah.
All right, but yeah, the last thing I think that really stood out for me was the music.
Oh yeah.
It was some really good
Fantastic.
That was
music.
some
actually.
good synthy stuff. Like I think you were saying like that definitely had to be done live.
Yeah, a lot of it sounded like
Well,
real
I
instruments
think-
for a lot of it.
I think back then, that's when
They
they
probably
would
sampled
score
it.
television.
Yeah,
Just
they
like
still
they
do
score
a lot,
film.
but yeah, back then that would be the really.
But they probably would sample
Oh yeah,
it too, though.
they sure
like-
they had like all the action sequences
Yeah.
and the.
But it did look, a lot of that music looked like it was scored to the action, unless they edited
they
the
probably
action
edited
to
the
the
action to
score.
fit the score.
That's possible too. But that's really, when they were doing that all the time, that wasn't that expensive of a thing.
Oh,
No.
Like you pay the musicians, I don't know, it's like $500 for a session to score all your music in an hour,
That's true.
So I could see that.
Heads up, we'll do that if you've got some television or maybe a movie project.
Dudesinspace.com/ dudesinspace.com.
Music scoring. I don't know.
Email
Slash
us.
music score.
Email us at dudesinspace@gmail.com for all your
Anything needs.
Anything.
All you need. Everything you need is right there.
I'm Antimai Johnson, and
All right, that's going to wrap it up.
that'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on the Vidcast.
Yeah, it was fun again. I really enjoy these. And if you like them, please give a like. That's really the only way we know.
Give a
It's the
share.
thumbs up one.
You can give the thumbs up. You can tell us in the comments what you like about it. What maybe we could change.
Yeah. If you don't like it, that's okay. You know,
That's true.
you can
You
say
don't
that
have to
you
leave
don't
a
like
comment.
it. You don't necessarily have to thumbs down it though.
Now that person every week that right when the video comes out, you thumbs down it. I'm sure they didn't watch this far, but
Yeah, we're
we're
on
watching
to
you.
you.
We're watching.
It's just strange
We know
that all
who
of our
clicks
videos immediately get one thumbs down as soon as they come out.
It's that guy from Reddit.
It is. It's the guy from Reddit that gave us a
worked.
hard time.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's end it. What do you say?
Sure.
All right. Thanks for watching. Go to patreon.com/dudesinSpace to get your topic on the show. And until next time, we'll see you in the future.
Bye.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. New videos come out on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Check out some of these sweet videos. Go to patreon.com/dudesinSpace if you'd like to give us your support.